ROOFMAN is directed by Cianfrance, written by Cianfrance and Gunn, and stars Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, LaKeith Stanfield, Juno Temple, Peter Dinklage, Aduba, and Ben Mendelsohn. And it follows a former Army Ranger and struggling father named Jeffrey Manchester, who turns to robbing McDonald's restaurants by cutting holes in their roofs, earning him the nickname ROOFMAN. After being caught and subsequently escaping prison, he secretly lives inside a Toys R Us. But when he falls for one of the store's employees, his double life begins to unravel. This was a movie I didn't know about at the start of the year. It wasn't on my radar at all, but it became one I was definitely looking forward to quite a bit from the trailers. You know, I'm a big fan of Channing Tatum as a movie star and actor, and I thought the trailers just made it look like a great, fun, funny time at the movies. And I was very glad to find out that that is exactly what this movie is, with a whole lot more going on beneath the surface. The trailers made it look like a pretty broad comedy, but I wasn't sure what to expect as, although I haven't seen any of his movies before this, it was my understanding that Cianfrance movies have the tendency to be very emotional and devastating and heartbreaking, and maybe that's kind of the case with this movie. Additionally, I had no personal awareness of the real story before the movie, so that added on to me being unsure what to expect, and I was genuinely so happy with what I got. Cianfrance's direction, alongside the script that he co-wrote with Gunn, find a really impressive way to balance those things. You know, the movie is very funny while also being extremely heartfelt, and it's got a beautiful emotional core and a sadness that is always there just beneath the surface. The script is really the driving force here, and Cianfrance knows that, manifesting that feeling into very restrained and unshowy but consistently solid direction that really lets those elements of the script and the performances shine. And, you know, it's also a very well-paced movie. I was constantly entertained by it. It's all divided up in very nice ways. But I do think the script's strongest element is the characterization of the two leads. And those characters on the page are already great, but they are brought to an absolute next level by their performances across the whole movie, but mainly with the leads. Channing Tatum is downright exceptional in this movie. I think this is probably the best I've ever seen him be. I've always been a fan of his, and I think he's pretty much never bad, but in the right movie with the right part, he can be fantastic, and that is absolutely the case here. Even though Jeffrey Manchester is an incredibly prolific criminal who breaks the law over and over again, Tatum still finds a way to make it unbelievably easy to root for him. You know, this is a guy who is just trying to support his family, and just by all accounts in the movie, and of course it is a movie, but he just seems to be a really good dude. Everyone who encounters him likes him a lot. He's just made some really poor decisions. And you know, Tatum is in just about every single frame of this movie, with many scenes being just him. There are many scenes in the empty Toys R Us where it's just Tatum sitting and watching a screen or moving around the store, and it's all on him to make those moments of the movie interesting. He does it with flying colors. The movie is quite literally resting on his shoulders, and he just carries it effortlessly. He's asked to do just about everything throughout this movie. He has to be funny, he has to be emotional, he has to be charming, endearing, and above all else, believable. And he does it all perfectly. There's multiple moments throughout the movie where a scene will just play out via a long, slow zoom on Tatum's face, or just holding on his face, with him often being quiet in these moments, and Tatum conveys so much on his face so brilliantly. It's honestly kind of a powerhouse performance. And the fact that his performance is so good and you end up rooting for him so hard turns him into a genuinely tragic character in a way in the later stages of the movie, particularly due to his relationship with Lee, similarly played incredibly by Kirsten Dunst. This is a lovely performance from Dunst. You know, she exists within the narrative to be Tatum's romantic interest, but she's actually a fully fledged character on the page, and she's fully brought to life by Dunst's delightfully lived-in performances. She's always really lovely, and she has a really charming southern accent, and she plays a character in the way where it's very believable that she would be completely swept off her feet by Tatum's character, even against some of her better judgment. It's very believable that she is a mother of two, who has just recently divorced. She's worried about bringing a new man into their lives, and Dunst just plays her as just a really real person, a really grounded person. The scene where her and Tatum first meet at this sort of church meeting / singles event, the way she's reacting to him being charming is just so believable, and you really see it. And the two of them really just have an endlessly charming chemistry together. They are such a joy to watch interact on screen, and they're so believable together as a couple, and it adds such a strong emotional linchpin as well as a real emotional tragedy due to the nature of their relationship and where it seems primed to go. The movie's final scene in particular is an emotional wallop that absolutely hit for me, and something I really didn't expect going in. I did not expect to be crying as I walked out of Derek Cianfrance's ROOFMAN, but that's what happened due to just how well Cianfrance's direction and script work with Tatum and Dunn's chemistry. Beyond the two leads is a roundly great supporting cast. LaKeith Stanfield is awesome and reliable, as always, as Tatum's friend from the military, who helps him out with his criminal dealings, as well as Peter Dinklage, who is absolutely hilarious as the dickish manager of the Toys R Us. He has so many great line reads and reaction shots that are simultaneously genuinely funny, but also kind of piss you off and succinctly kind of position him as one of the movie's quote-unquote antagonists. You also have Juno Temple appearing for a short time, and I like her a lot, but she's doing an American accent in this, which just doesn't work and is honestly just sort of weird. Didn't really care for that, but you've also got Ben Mendelsohn and Aduba showing up as preachers at the church where Tatum and Dunst meet, and these are very brief roles that they are extremely overqualified for, which honestly made them really goddamn funny. During one of their scenes, I was just watching, and then my brain said, that's Ben Mendelsohn leading a sermon in song. And I was so overjoyed by that realization that I just kind of burst out laughing. Overall, this is just a damn great movie, simple as that. It's got two incredible lead performances who have fantastic chemistry with each other, a strong, compelling story, and great work from Cianfrance to make this movie really sing and create a great, endearing, heartfelt comedy, drama, thriller, awesome movie. It's really a movie that covers a lot of bases and does them all well, but it's really interested in the kind of crime drama aspects, with comedy still being a tool, and a tool that is used well, but not what the movie is relying on as the trailers kind of made it look. This movie does so much and does it all so well. I really loved it. It's one of the biggest surprises of the year for me, and one of my favorites of the year so far. So I would absolutely recommend ROOFMAN to anyone who just wants to go see a damn good movie in theaters. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!